Together again on the radio. And we have an email here, just 2 lines, 2 simple lines from one Mike Sandoval. Mike Sandoval writes in, and he says the following. Tom, I'm 26 years old. Get engaged to a gorgeous 21-year-old LA 10. She told me yesterday she wants to keep her last name. So I said, then we're not getting married. She listens to your show, so tell her what's up. All right, well, let me state the obvious first. She's 21. She's too young to be getting married, even if she's a 10. Too young, too immature, for starters. My attitude is that there are few, if any, benefits to a man to get married. One of the few is getting to get her to take your last name. Why? Because if you break up, she's going to take half of everything you have anyway. Maybe more. So you should be able to slap that brand on her. That's it. Otherwise, why get married at all? You know, if she wants to keep her last name, there's a very easy way to do that. And you suggested it, by not getting married. Ladies, if you want to keep your last name, it's easy. Don't ask us to marry you. Then you keep your last name. You don't need to be married to us. We'll just F you. We won't pay your rent. You don't have to move into our place. We'll just have sex with you. Then you can have your own place. You're right, Dean. Save that money on the engagement ring. Save money on a wedding. Save money on the bridal registry. Save the family money. Absolutely. Girls, you should keep your last names. You know why? Because we shouldn't be getting married to you anyway. Indeed, you're right, Dean. Take that money you saved and buy yourself that big screen TV you've been wanting and that you won't get once you marry her. Because she'll say she doesn't like it. Now, this is very simple. Anytime you get a chick who wants to keep her last name, you know what that means. You know what that means. She's reserving her options. She wants all her male friends to still call her by the same name. She wants to be known by the same name. Look, if your girlfriend's name is Halle Berry or Julia Roberts, we'll talk about her keeping her last name, okay? You know, if your girlfriend's last name is Lindsay, you know, her name is Lindsay Lohan, okay. My guess is that your girlfriend is not known professionally by any name. At 21 years old, she hasn't had any kind of career yet at all. At all. Well, she's some kind of supermodel or something. So it's my opinion that, honestly, if she wants to keep her last name, you can make that real easy for her. Just don't marry her. Nothing I hate more than to see people who have kids where the mother has one last name and the kids have another last name. How ridiculous is that? How confusing is that to kids? You're going to have kids? What's their last name going to be? Villaraigosa? No. You're a very lucky man, Mike. She made it very easy for you. She doesn't want your last name? Great. And she won't have your last name. And you will not have the expense and the headaches of having her living at your place. You will keep your freedom. She's a 10. You will try to just continue banging the crap out of her. But what's the point of being engaged? What's the point of getting married? What for? Why? Now you'll say, well, Tom, you've been married and divorced 4 times. Exactly. Yes, I have. And I've learned the hard way. There's nothing in it for the guy. Nothing. Nothing. Two remotely interesting reasons to get married, and they don't apply to everybody. In fact, they don't apply to a lot of people in some cases. One, if you're with somebody who needs a green card and you have no choice to keep them in the country, okay. I guess you have to do that. And a lot of my boys date the international set. Some of them with immigration problems. usually the most compliant, obedient women out there. You might have to help them become legalized residents of the United States of America. All right, then you might get married. Second reason, if you're going to have kids and you're serious about wanting to have kids, you're not just doing it because you're dating a 10 and you're doing it because she's insisting. Boys, if you honestly, truly want to become a father, that's very, very, very important. Okay, get married, but then everybody with the same name now. You don't want to be confusing those little crumb crunchers, little rugrats. Other than that, I just think that is a bitchy thing to do to keep your last name. What's the point of getting married? What is the point?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
What's the name of this show? It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Show.
That's right. So I'm the boss here.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Amanda on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Amanda.
I am calling because I wanted to know what your parents' relationship was like.
My parents were married for 40 years. And
they loved each other?
Then my dad died when they were just past their 40th anniversary.
Wow. And they loved each other. I mean, you saw that they loved each other?
Yep.
Hello?
I said yep.
Oh. And you still don't believe that marriage is something for more than just having children or for a green card?
There are no benefits to men.
To men?
Men. For men.
Well, that's a really sad way to look at it.
That's how it is.
Huh. Well, being that I'm not a man, I guess I have no opinion on
What are the benefits to men? Give us the list.
Well, I don't know because I'm not a man, but I would say that it would be the same benefits as to a woman as just to having a companion.
But you can have a companion without signing a legally binding document.
So, yes, I agree. I do agree with that.
Without signing over half of everything you own?
Well, you don't have to do that.
That's my point.
Yeah.
There is no benefit to a man.
Huh. Well, knowing that maybe that you're not going to die alone.
You don't have to be married to die with somebody there caring about you.
Yeah. You just know that it's guaranteed if you're married.
There is no guarantee in marriage either. Getting a divorce is easy.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that easy.
It is.
I know. Well,
it should be easy to get divorced and hard to get married.
Maybe it should be easier. I mean, harder to get married.
Too many people are doing it.
Why do I think people are doing it?
I said too many people are doing it.
Yeah, they are, and not ready for it either.
Yep.
I agree with that. Well, Tom, I don't know then.
You didn't have much of an argument for me here, Amanda.
I know. I think I just was hoping that maybe you'd had a bad experience with your parents' marriage, so maybe that's why you didn't have a better view of it.
They were married. They had 4 kids, several grandchildren.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Tom.
Wait, hang on a second, Amanda. Myra, what did you want to say to Amanda?
I wanted to know why you called trying to analyze Tom. Why are you... You heard me.
Why I wanted to analyze Tom? I guess
That's what I said.
Because he's a telephone personality and he's
giving
an opinion.
Well, you have so many questions for him. If you don't like what he's saying, you can change the station.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I was just curious.
Well, obviously you didn't like it because you called with your opinions.
No. Well, I didn't call with an opinion. I didn't really give an opinion. I just had a question.
You didn't give your opinion. Okay, what was the purpose of calling and asking about his parents? Are you interested in him? Did you want to know about his family or...
Yeah.
What for? Did he ask? Okay, what about your parents?
My parents didn't have a good marriage.
Well, just because yours didn't doesn't mean everybody else's does.
Yeah, I know. I was just curious.
You're curious. Well, when you're curious, you can email him. Don't waste his time on the radio. We're bored listening to that.
Well, then you can change the radio station.
No, only when you're on.
Okay, well, I guess
that's
why
so
I'm not a
funny.
TV personality.
Whatever.
Neither am I.
Such a loser.
Or radio.
Obviously. You keep stuttering on the phone and saying, what? What did you say? Right.
Okay. Well, I don't really know what to say. You have a lot of hatred in you, I think.
I don't have hatred. I just think that you're a dumb caller.
I mean, you don't know me at all.
I didn't say I knew you. I said that I think you're a dumb caller. I think
Okay,
you're calling
well,
for
you can
stupid
think
things.
that.
You called trying to make him look dumb. That's what you originally
No,
called.
I really
hoping,
wasn't.
Excuse me, hoping that he would say, oh, I had a very bad childhood, my mother and father, whatever. That's what you were hoping for.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing to hope.
Why would you hope that Tom had a bad childhood?
No, I didn't mean that. I meant
That's what you said.
I would hope that
That's
there
what you
would be
said.
a more solid reason to his not believing.
There
in
is a
marriage.
solid reason. The solid reason is there are no benefits for a man to be married, and I just pointed out that you couldn't name any benefits, and you couldn't.
No, I couldn't.
So you're just wasting his time then.
Well, I didn't know that until I called.
Well, now you know.
Thanks, Myra.
Amanda, Myra, thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Crystal on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. That was funny.
Laugh it up.
Long time, third time.
Thank you.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I am actually about to get married on the 30th of July, but I'm freaking out about the bachelor party.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of wanted to know your opinion and your views on it. I'm trying not to be the bitchy girlfriend or the obsessive one or the weird one, and every time I say no strippers, like for some reason your voice is the one right on top of my shoulder telling me to shut up. So,
It's certainly possible.
It is.
By the way, I haven't seen many strippers who are 10s. I got to be honest with you.
Any strippers what? I'm sorry.
I haven't seen many strippers who are 10s.
Okay, well,
Let's start with that.
still. But I am going to be cool, and I am going to let him have one, but I'm just so paranoid that he's going to get so just wasted. And
Well, by the way, I'm a big believer in semantics, that every word has meaning.
right.
You shouldn't be saying things like, I'm going to let him have a bachelor party.
Well, no, you
Thanks,
know what
Mom.
I mean. Okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'm trying not to have a problem with it.
I understand.
That was the wrong word for it. You're right.
Yeah. God, that tells me more about your relationship than you wanted to reveal.
You're probably right. That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But do you agree with bachelor parties? I mean, do you think they're innocent?
I've been married and divorced 4 times. I've never had a bachelor party. The main reason I've never had a bachelor party, strippers don't do anything for me. I've never hired a hooker. You know, I've always had women taking their clothes off and having sex with me for free.
For free,
So
right.
yeah, so the idea of paying people to come to a quote unquote party, well, these women are on the clock and other things that end in "ock," and I mean, it just, to me, it never made any sense. I've never paid for sex or nudity before. Why would I start with a bachelor party?
Right, I hear you. Well, that's what he says, so I'm going to keep my fingers crossed, do the trust thing, and take it from there. Can you take me out tribal with a screaming orgasm, please?
Here you go, Crystal. Wow. Listen to that. My goodness. All right. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Bruce on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hello, Dad. How are you?
Doing okay, son.
Okay. Ready for Father's Day?
Well, I'm always ready.
All right. You know, I've been married for going on 19 years. And when I got married, I felt deprived because I didn't have a bachelor party.
Right.
And I still feel deprived. I should have had that bachelor party.
Right.
I said I should have had it, and I haven't had it. But I've gone to, when I lived in New York, I've gone to Plato's Retreat, Midnight Interlude, executive suites. Remember all the clubs in New York where they take your clothes off and you party hard?
That was in like the 80s, back before people realized that straight people could get AIDS.
Oh, man, we used to party. So I had, strippers were great in New York and Chicago and also in Vegas. But the point, I'm still deprived and I've been married for 18 years and she looks great because she works out 4 days a week in the gym. And, you can't believe that I've been married that long and she looks that good and she's excellent in bed. I mean, she's a dinosaur in bed. I mean, she just goes and goes and goes. But, marriage, I'd say, just hang in there. You got to do it. I mean, you've been married 4 times, right, Tom?
I have been, and that's how I learned that there are no benefits to a man to get married.
Hey, there's tax benefits. There's,
those tax benefits are outweighed by what you're going to pay out if things don't work out.
Well, I figured at about 25 years, if it doesn't look great, you can always trade her in and get a new one.
By the way, do you really think the tax benefits are worth more than having all of your money to yourself?
You can have all your money, but guess what you're going to pay in taxes when you get your money?
No, but the point is, let's say you make $100,000 a year and you're paying 50% in taxes, okay?
Okay.
So, you're netting $50,000 a year.
Yeah.
All right. Now, let's say you make $100,000 a year, but now you'll only pay 40% in taxes because you got married.
Oh.
So now instead of taking home $50,000, you're taking home $60,000, but you're splitting the $60,000 with this bitch who just moved into your house.
You're right.
Now you're taking home $30,000.
There you go, man.
Or less.
You got to hold on to that money. Hold on to her and hold on to that money, man. Make her work for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's nothing in it for you.
Let
her keep the shoe and purse and dress museum at her own place, at her own expense.
Well, you know what happened, Tom, when Liberace died? Remember when he died?
I do.
When Liberace died, I freaked out. I said, oh, man, his age really hit. And Liberace died, and after he died, guys started...
Well, the only guys who freaked out when Liberace died are the ones who had sex with him.
You're the man, Tom. You're the man. I love it, Tom. Hang in there. Hey, too bad I can't come Friday night. I tried to make it up there, but I'm so busy heading to Hawaii on Sunday, so I'm really busy. But I really wanted to go and just check it out. Hey, have a good time. I'll talk to you when you get back, Tom.
Bruce, thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello to Tom on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Okay.
Hey, normally I agree with you, but I'm going to have to disagree with you on this one. There are a couple of benefits for a guy to be married.
What are they?
Well, you got a built-in housekeeper and a built-in cook.
Well, not necessarily, and certainly if you marry an American woman, that's no sure bet at all, number one.
Well,
number two, a live-in sex partner is not necessarily a good thing, because before you get married, you can have sex 7 nights a week with 7 different women. And when one has her period or a headache or is out of town, the others will come in from the bullpen.
That is true. But if you go by your rules where you kick them out before the daylight, you got nobody to clean up the mess in the morning.
Well, but you want to know something? I have a housekeeper. A lot cheaper than a girlfriend.
That's probably true.
Let me tell you. Not only that, no birthday presents, no anniversary presents, no Christmas presents, no dinners out, no visiting her family for Thanksgiving. You'd be amazed.
Well, you do have a point there.
It's like hiring a hooker. Housekeeper comes in, cleans up, gets the hell out, and you get the weekend to yourself.
Yeah, but you don't get the benefit that you do with the hooker, right?
Right.
All right, man. Well, thanks for the talk.
Well, thank you, Tom. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Jackie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Okay, Jackie.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
I just got a quick question.
Yes.
If you're so anti-marriage, why did you do it 4 times?
That's why I'm anti-marriage.
But wouldn't you have learned...
I wasn't anti-marriage. That's my point. That's why I am anti-marriage.
But I just don't understand. Most people would learn after twice not to get married.
Well, I don't care what most people would learn. You know what? I had kind of a tough life trying to make it in this business, moving from city...
It took you 4 times to figure it out.
Yeah, sure it did. Moving from city to city, sure.
But I would think that's...
Plus, I grew up with parents who were married for 40 years, and I thought that's the way it should be, but I was wrong.
But usually most people you talk to...
Well, there, you got to keep repeating the same thing over and over. I mean, I just gave you my reason, and you don't accept it, and so there we are. We have a stalemate, don't we?
Okay, I just wanted to know why you did it 4 times, that's all.
I did it 4 times because I was an idiot.
Oh, hey, by the way, you got to get Dino some girls. He is on fire back there.
Oh, you mean he tried to pick you up?
Oh, my gosh, he is the biggest pervert out there.
Oh, that's why he works for us.
He doesn't even know what we look like, and he's trying to hit on us.
Well, you know what? You throw it up against the wall, see what sticks.
It's a numbers game with Dino.
I'll tell you what, Dino's wall, a lot of things stick.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
All the things that you tell guys to do, he has done to me.
And he's probably a lot happier now.
Without me?
Yeah.
See, why would you say something like that?
The Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. A listener writes in, it says, I'm 26 years old, engaged to a gorgeous 21-year-old LA 10. She told me yesterday she wants to keep her last name. The letter writer said, well, then we're not getting married. He says she listens to your show, so tell her what's up. And I say, no, nothing in it for a guy to get married anyway. So you're getting off the hook here. She wants to keep her last name. The easiest way to do this is by not marrying her, for God's sake. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. It's Tom on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
How you doing, Tom?
Great.
Listen, I've been listening to you for a while now, and I know how you feel about marriage. And I'm 35, married with 2 kids, and I'm similar to you as finance-wise. I'm very, very well off. And about 28 or so, I wanted to have a couple kids real bad, and I had a girl that's not from America, of course. That wanted to be with me. So I went ahead and married her, and it's been about 7 years, and I got a 5 and a 3. And basically, what I wanted to ask you was, as far as me, I have the wife. She takes care of the kids. I put her in the nice big house, and you know, I have a little side plat in the city I shoot out to once in a while to go have some fun with the boys and hang out. And I guess you could call it a perfect situation, and I've never really heard you touch bases on that.
What exactly?
As far as marriage in general to you is a no-go.
Well, it's just, again, I did say if you really, really, really want to be a father, then I do think there's a benefit because your kids should all have the same last name, and you should be there to be with them. Well, I mean, if you really want to have kids, I imagine you want to be there with them. But why anyone wants to have kids with someone they're not married to and run the risk that you're not going to be with them, not going to see them? Why would you want to have kids that way in the first place?
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't. I wanted to be the girl I was with. I did love and stuff, and I was 28, and I was starting to come up pretty good in my career. And it turns out she's great. She's great. She's happy. She never gives me any headaches. I fly. I drive the ship. I do what I want when I want. I don't rub dirt in her face. And I guess I could say I got a pretty good situation. And I had never really I've never heard anyone call you or touch bases on that or how you felt about that or if you think it's just a
well, again, since you wanted to have kids, it makes sense. But that's it. And by the way, I think a lot of guys who get married don't care whether they have kids or not. It's the woman who's pushing for that.
Yeah.
Just like it's the woman who's pushing to get married. Because the woman has the most to gain. Now, it's an accident that women say, I need to know where this is going. I need to know what you're thinking. I need to know what we are to each other. It's always women who want to have that conversation.
Yeah.
They're negotiating a contract is what they're doing.
Well, like I was thinking in the past that I hear a lot of guys call your show and they're always complaining about the women, complaining this, that, the other, whatever. And the way I look at it is, I mean, this might sound shallow, but it seems like a lot of it is finances. Money seems to make everything nice. You know what I mean? And
yeah, well, money can also, believe me, if you're with somebody who wants to take you to the cleaners, money can be terrible because, well, let's face it, if she decides one day you have no prenup and she decides to bolt, you're going to be paying and paying and paying.
Yeah. But
I mean, things are great as long as she doesn't bolt.
Yeah.
I'd bet
well,
this. I'll bet you this week's salary that you did not get a prenup.
And of course you're right. But and at this point, I love her. She's the mother of my children, and I love, the whole situation's great. But at the same time, if she was to bolt, I'd cut the check, and I'd feel like a 22-year-old again almost.
But then you'd not only be cutting one check, you'd be cutting checks every month because you've got kids.
Yeah.
You'd be paying vagina money. You'd be paying child support.
Yeah.
And you never know when your foreign girl meets one of the desperate housewives on your block and decides, that she could take you to the cleaners one day over coffee.
Yeah, and that was my last point to you, is it a matter of time, in your opinion, with most situations?
Well, in Southern California, 2 out of 3 marriages end in divorce. 2 out of 3.
Yeah. Well, thanks for taking the call. Thanks for letting me know where you stood on that, and taking me out with a, what is that, a Kobe? Kobe Bryant?
Kobe Bryant style. Here you go.
This is about us. She's so special to me. It beats in my heart. Yeah, the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
Don on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing there, Tom?
Do you really care?
I certainly do. You are one of my heroes. I consider you my stepdad.
Excellent.
I had a good father, but, I still do, but I still consider you like one who's really set the record straight on a lot of things for me.
Good.
Yeah, but I was just curious. The subject was the name, keeping your name, when you get married, and I'm just curious if in any of your 4 chances, was there any suggestion of one of your wives saying we should consider keeping my name or what have you?
Oh, I was asked about that, but all 4 took the name. One of them still uses my last name.
I see. Well, I'd be interested to hear from people who've, had, actually gone through and, have whether a dashed name or what have you.
I think guys who have women with hyphenated last names or women who keep their maiden names, they're pussies. They should have said, no, I'm not getting married to you. No, not doing it. No.
Yeah. Well, I don't think guys think it through a lot either at first, I think that if the wife says that, a lot of times they just go with it, whatever, So if that makes her happy, but then they don't think it through too carefully,
Yeah.
So, I agree, that the name, there's not too many reasons to get married, and that's probably the one if there is.
Yep, I think you're right about that, Don. Thank you for the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Christina on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Christina.
No,
Christina?
I'm Tom. You're Christina.
Oh, yes, I'm Christina. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Oh.
Tom, you're so right about everything that you're talking about.
Would you want to be with a man who said, why don't you just keep your own last name, honey?
I'm sorry?
Would you want to be with a man who said, honey, why don't you just keep your own last name?
No, I was just saying you're so right about marriage.
Uh-huh.
Girls use guys just for one thing, is to support them.
Uh-huh. That's right. That's exactly right.
Yep, and that's the way, that's what girls should do. That's awesome that girls do that. We have that power, and hey, why not use it?
What other power do you use in your marriage?
Oh, gosh, let's see. He supports me. I go shopping whenever I want. I drive a nice car, and he pays out for that, too. Mm-hmm. And he gets sex whenever I decide to give it to him.
Whenever you decide to give it to him?
Yes.
So you don't want it that often?
I do, and if I'm in the mood, I do. Which
if you're in the mood.
5 times a week, And if I'm not, then I won't.
See, before he was married, if you weren't in the mood, he'd say, okay, I'll call you again next week. And then he'd call the next name in the book and have sex with that person.
Nope, it was just me. It's always been me.
It's always been you? You're the only woman he's ever been with?
No, we've been together for about, let's see, 8 years.
8 years?
Mm-hmm.
And what about before that?
Before that, I really don't care. I wasn't involved in his past, so whatever happened, happened.
Yeah. See, if I knew that getting married meant I would have to, just sit and twiddle my thumbs some nights, why would I get married?
Well, that's why I say I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but, I haven't married.
But you agree, and you're taking full advantage of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is if your husband was smarter, he wouldn't have married you.
Well, you know what? I do work also, though. I do work and I do help, but, he makes most of the money.
He makes most of the money. You spend most of the money.
And I spend most of the money.
Right.
Oh, yep, you're right.
Mm-hmm. I know it works. Now, does he know you think this? Does he know?
I tell him joking about it. Yeah, I'll tell him.
Yeah, but he doesn't think you're serious. He thinks you're joking.
I tell him guys are supposed to make the money and, girls spend it. But you know what, Tom? guys expect certain things from girls, too. They expect to cook and clean, and why is that okay? So why isn't it okay for girls to expect guys to make the money?
Well, again, I do believe that women expect men to pay. I think women in America expect men to pay the bills.
So I do that, too.
Well, but the point is, most American women nowadays, they expect the men to pay the bills, but then they don't want to clean. They don't want to raise children. They want to have nannies and housekeepers.
Yeah, you're right.
They don't want to do anything. They just want to be taken care of.
That's true. Fortunately, the pretty girls can get a guy that will do that.
Well, that's what we always say on this program, Christina.
That's it. And I mean, I am a good-looking female, and I was able to get a guy that does that for me.
What do you look like?
I am, let's see, I'm 5'6". I'm about 115 pounds. I have brown hair. It's little about my, slow before my shoulders. Let's see, a lot of people tell me I resemble Jennifer Lopez, kind of.
Hopefully you're not as flat as she is.
No, I'm actually a C-cup.
Oh, Jennifer Lopez. That's not a C-cup. There's no way she's a C-cup.
No, she's not. I'm bigger than that.
Oh, look at that. Very nice.
So, but I was the lucky one to find a guy like that. So, therefore, I'm very happy with that situation we're in right now.
Well, good for you, Christina. Good luck.
So you heard...
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Virginia. Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great.
Good. I just want to say something for all the good women that are out there that don't take advantage of men and work and treat the man good.
Oh, the exceptions to the rule? Go right ahead.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of exceptions to the rule because when I listen to your program, it's just funny.
What's funny?
So many men are so negative.
No, are you surprised? Good thing. By the way, turn the radio off. Hearing you once is punishment enough, okay? Having to hear your voice coming back is a cruel and unusual punishment. I mean, turn it all the way off right now.
It's off.
All right. The good thing you tuned in because there's a lot of feeling like that out there.
There is. And, you know, I talk to a lot of men that are always saying, oh, Tom Leykis this, oh, Tom Leykis that.
Well, that should tell you something, shouldn't it? Maybe your perception of how women are is wrong.
No.
Oh, yes. How many women have you lived with? How many women have you been married to? How many have you been divorced from? How many have you sent a child support check or an alimony payment to? None.
You know what? I never asked for alimony or child support.
We don't care about you, dear. We're talking about women in general.
Well,
how many child support checks have you mailed out?
Take the handful that are not like women in general.
The handful. You just admitted it's a handful. Well, that's wonderful. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, sweetheart.
You should give us some credit.
Dear, again, you know, man bites dog. Well, one day the sun won't come up, but generally the sun will come up tomorrow. So what? The fact that there are a handful of exceptions to the rule, who cares?
I do.
No, again, that's because you think you're one of them.
I am.
We don't care. It doesn't negate the rule. The rule is the rule. The vast majority of women get married, don't want to do anything in this country, and then when we divorce them, they take us for everything we got.
Well, but there's a lot of men out there that are just like women.
Well,
let's balance it out.
They're all on makeover shows. Huh?
Let's balance it out. There's a lot of men out there that are
wait a minute. What do you think this is, journalism class? We're not balancing anything out here. I'm a guy. I speak from a guy point of view, and the target audience is guys. You're welcome to listen in, but we're not here to do balanced journalism. All of television is about women and what victims they are. You know what? We're the other side.
Come on.
You want balance? Watch Oprah.
Oh, jeepers. Be nice.
I am nice, dear.
No, you're not.
I am nice. You haven't heard nasty yet. Have you? Our email address is my name. It's Tom at blowmeuptom.com.